My name is FEDERICA GIGANTE and I'm the curator of the collection from the Islamic world at the History of Science Museum here in Oxford. This group of objects is seen outside London for the first time in a touring exhibition, but here at the History of Science Museum they are interpreted in a different light together with some of our own objects as a complex combination of cultures and ideas of craftsmen that moved across lands and brought with them their own decorative motifs. The main focus of the exhibition is to talk about cultures in conversation. There are three main themes that the exhibition will explore. The first one will deal with migration of objects, peoples, and ideas from the borders with China all the way to the Mediterranean. The second theme will focus on trade between the Islamic world and Europe. And the third theme will concentrate on the mutual influences between European culture and Islamic culture and vice versa. The first case will deal with the topic of migration, of populations that moved from the borders with China all the way to the Mediterranean. This bowl features a lotus flower. Now, lotus flowers grow in East and Southeast Asia and are not to be seen in the Mediterranean basin. However, this object was made in Egypt. Immediately after, some Mongol nomadic tribes moved from the borders with China all the way across Central Asia to the eastern shores of the Mediterranean. With them, they brought those decorative motifs all the way from India and China, and that's why we can see it here in an Egyptian-made object. The second case deals with the topic of trade between the Islamic world and Europe. These Islamic metal objects became so sought after in Europe that Islamic craftsmen started to change shapes and adapt decorative motifs for their European customers. This bowl in particular shows the most interesting detail. You can see here a blank coat of arms. This would have been created in Egypt or Syria by an Islamic craftsman who left it blank specifically to sell it to a European customer who himself would have applied his family arms. Not only did Italian craftsmen buy these Islamic objects, but they also started to imitate them and make them themselves. In the third case, we deal with the topic of mutual influences between the Islamic world and Europe. This object was made in Italy during the Renaissance, and we can see that the craftsman has used the Islamic technique of metal inlay, at the same time imitating an Islamic type of pattern, reinterpreted within the taste of the Italian Renaissance. This flow of ideas happened in both directions, and we find iconographic details from medieval Europe dating back from ancient Greece on Islamic items. For example, on this Egyptian incense burner, we can see the personification of the planet Mars represented as the classical god Mars. These cultural conversations are happening every day here at the History of Science Museum with our colleagues from the Multaka team.
Multaka, it's an Arabic word, means in English meeting point. Multaka started with the Islamic collection in History of Science Museum because the History of Science Museum have a really big collection and very unique and special Islamic metal collection. And it's actually an opportunity for the volunteers to share their different perspective and experience from their background. So visitors, when they attend the museums, they will have a chance to attend a very unique and special tour, which is actually created by the volunteers.
I heard about this exhibition, which incorporates both Islamic culture and metalwork, which are both things I find interesting. And after seeing the object, I couldn't not see the beautiful patterns and the rich symmetries. I tried to duplicate the pattern that appears on the handbag. And this inspired me to write a computer program in which, with just a few brush strokes, one can create beautiful Islamic-inspired wallpaper patterns. The program is really simple. Basically, you have a little area on the screen where you can doodle, draw, add lines, and create a design. And then the program duplicates this design by rotating it and reflecting it. And even with just a very simple doodle, you can produce something that looks like a beautiful Islamic geometric pattern. Mathematics is usually perceived as something very scary, and it's generally not fun. And I think that this exhibition is a great opportunity to share a bit of my knowledge and show people that math can really be beautiful and fun.